Howdy ho.
Well, here we are again.
We are again. It seems like these Mondays keep coming around so fast.
Yes. And tonight's movie is The King's Speech.
The King's Speech. Or
I was pausing for effect.
154th movie.
154 movies, 123
Hopefully
shows.
approaching our 200th movie. Who knows what will happen?
Wait, 123 shows?
120. This is 124 tonight.
All right. I'm just curious, how many TV shows have not done 124 hours of television?
That's hard to say
because this is not television.
And this is not television. This is not entertainment. No, this is a group chat to talk about your favorite movies, your favorite TV shows, whatever you want. And I have a feeling, at least for the first part of the show, might be kind of an exclusive group tonight. Because we're watching maybe a movie that maybe not everybody has seen, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the comments will be flooded with people who have comments about The King's Speech, just like they're flooded, like your nostrils were flooded just now.
Yes, it's smoke in the air, a lot of smoke. No, it's everywhere around here in the greater Seattle area. But we're basically a book club for people that don't read books.
That's right, exactly. We're the Cliff Notes.
We might read books, but we don't talk about them.
We don't want to hear what you think about books. I mean, who has time for that? We'd have to meet like every 8 months.
Exactly.
It takes me forever to finish a book.
It takes me forever to finish a movie. So,
well, this is very true. Well, at least I don't fall asleep most of the time.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna invite you to join us right there, EriDanLive.com.
Yep.
Even if you haven't seen the movie, join in, listen to what we have to say, and then maybe get involved with choosing next week's video.
B is here.
Wow, how about that? Look at that. Look at those ears. That's some filtering going on. Oh my goodness, we've got so much out.
We have an old friend here as well. Look at that. It's exciting.
I think we should start bringing in some people, don't you think?
Yes.
No, you don't want to?
Bring them in.
We could just be rude and let's let them sit out there forever.
No, bring them in. Bring them in.
Stacy and Wade, all the way from Chippewa.
That's right.
Wade always rocking the merch. Wade is our own billboard for the store, and you can get your merch now at Shop EriDan. Is that what it is? No, it's the EriDan.
It's EriDanShop.com. You can get hats and T-shirts.
I had no idea.
Now I'm gonna have to register Shop EriDan. Thank you, Eric.
You should probably do that. And while we do that, we'll bring in Dave. Oh my goodness!
Hello.
Bugger tea.
With the language, my goodness, it's terrible. All right,
so we got the Johnsons, and then we got the Buggers. Okay,
I know, right? Who will be next? Who will be? I see. I messed you up there, didn't I? No, don't bring it.
Oh, sorry, man.
And I was bringing in Rhonda. Got me all confused and messed up. Rhonda Russell, how are you?
Fellow class of 88 graduate.
Blackhawk High School, class of 88.
Yep.
We saw a picture of you with Stacy, so it's like,
that's someone else we can reminisce with to bore Adam to tears.
There we go.
For everybody with stories about living in Chippewa. But before we do that, I actually have an intro for Amanda.
Oh.
Since she chose our movie for the week, she finally, long overdue, she gets
Five-timer club.
I know. How about that? Well, we're just going to
play that first.
There you go.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Quite the intro. How are you, Amanda? Amanda, you chose another movie for us. So I figured, I had a feeling you'd be here.
Yeah, it was a good guess. That's fair.
Well, Eric, I have a question real quick. With all of our production quality,
Yeah.
Rhonda, you've been on the EriDan show, but have you ever done one of our movie shows?
If I did, it was in the very beginning.
Well, then she should have had this opening. And then prior to Amanda's brand new opening, she should have had this.
And the crowd goes wild. Number 5.
There we
So
go.
many openings.
I know.
The openings.
If we don't use them, we lose them.
That's more openings than a Rick Springfield.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Where is it?
It got worse. It's getting worse. This reference to Rick Springfield was brought to you in part by the all-new 2022 EriDan for style that can't be changed.
There we go.
I don't think I'd ever noticed before that the hubcaps are wheel of reels.
Yes.
And I want
On the EriDan is
a window sticker of you two, life size, for the back of my car.
Yeah.
Scarily, we could do that.
Yeah, those we could sell 100%.
Absolutely, I'd buy it. I wear it on my shirt, so
That's true.
it could be in my car.
Everybody should.
All right. So real quick,
I believe, right?
my mom says hi. So I know she watched the movie.
We are so off the rails.
We know Adam said the movie was slow, dull, and just overall boring.
Yes.
Other than that, I loved it.
Wow.
He didn't say it was bad, just it was boring.
Yeah, just it was boring.
And
All right,
dull.
we're already off the rails. Let's jump into the movie talk, and then we'll get to other stuff as we get through the night. Oh my goodness, there's so
Brittany,
many.
Richard and
people
Brian are all.
in the chat, in one chat. That's a lot of people for one chat. But that's awesome. We're glad you're in the chat. We're glad you're watching. We're going to talk about the King's Speech. Find your voice. That was the shortest tagline I could find for this movie. Starring Colin Firth, Jeffrey Rush, Helen Bonham Carter, Guy Pearce, some other people. Directed by Tom Hooper. $15 million budget. This only cost $1 million more than Mean Girls, for the record. And a worldwide gross of $424 million. The critics, lots of love, 94%. Audience, 92%. Amanda, why? Oh, why? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. It was extremely slow. There were not a lot of explosions in this movie.
Michael Bay version would have been much more exciting.
Ooh.
Yeah, if they wanted to embellish it more, it could have had a lot more like dramatic bombing scenes, I guess. But so this is the movie that I think I saw when it came out, and then I got it on Blu-ray, and I watched it a decent amount at the time. I think it was partially inspired by having a crush on Colin Firth in this movie, but also I just like the movie a lot. There's other Colin Firth movies I could have watched if I just wanted to see them. So yeah, I mean, I just find it to be a nice mix of like. I tend to enjoy like historical stories, so I think it's an interesting historical story that hasn't been told a lot before this came out. I think the acting is good. I think there's a nice little mix of like bits of humor in there. I just think it's a cool movie.
Yeah, honestly, the humor really caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting to laugh out loud as many times as I did in this movie. Lots of compliments there for Jeffrey Rush.
Yes.
Wow, lots of people. Everybody's in the comments tonight. Look at this. And then I mean, the acting was tremendous, and performing with a stutter.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pain. Sometimes that was painful to watch.
It
You just
was.
felt so much for him
Yes.
when he just couldn't get the words out. Like especially when he's talking to his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But my question is, how many people were sitting going, okay, so he's the father. Wait, so Elizabeth's dad. Okay, and you're like trying to figure out the whole lineage. Well, if he's the second son, how does he end up being king? Then how does Queen Elizabeth become queen? And then,
Yeah.
I figured it out though, because you have to. I actually watched this. This is the first movie I think in the entire history of this show that I watched with my wife.
Wow.
I brought the TV downstairs. Josh was off on his homecoming date, which was the week after homecoming. And so we're making dinner, and we brought the little, it's like the little 32-inch, stuck it there, and we watched it. While we made dinner and ate dinner.
Again, saved my marriage.
The little 32-inch TV.
32 is small for a TV. That's
Yeah, I remember when it wasn't.
I had a 20-inch black and white TV back in the day.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree. It was slow, but if you're doing things while it's on, it's not that slow.
What were
You
you
have to, like,
doing?
you chop tomatoes, you eat pasta.
Yes.
You have maybe a salad, maybe a vodka tonic. You know, these things make it
Dan was
not
doing
as slow.
origami while he watched. No, what?
I feel like I might give it the highest score of everybody.
I agree. It was slow, but I enjoy anything about the Royals. Well, not anything, but a lot of things about the Royals, especially when you have Colin Firth, Helena Bonham Carter, and Jeffrey Rush. And it was funny because I'm always the one going, oh, that wasn't really true, or they compressed this, or so that was me yesterday watching this, going, they knew each other for years.
Yeah.
That was the thing that was annoying, is they made this seem like it was like a few months to a couple of years, and really that their relationship working together was 15 years.
It started in like 26, right, or something, and then it was, and the movie said it was like 33 or 34. So yeah, they definitely compressed the timeline to make it like dramatic for the movie. But
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Now,
and they also like had to create villains for the movie in interesting ways. Like I didn't mind the villainizing of David as much because it felt like, I don't know, it felt kind of in character. Like it was over the top, but like you could see the pressure he was under suddenly being king and trying to figure this whole thing out. The Archbishop being like during the coronation ceremony was a bit much. Like they lingered on him a little too long, looking like angry, breathing. Like that was a little. I did see
Kobe's good.
During one of the special features, they were talking about that the positively medieval line when they're like, "Oh, trying to take the throne from me, positively medieval." Apparently, that was actually from a letter that had been written between the two of them, but it was framed as kind of like a joke in the letter. But then they kind of took that actual line and kind of made it more of like more bite behind it in the movie, which is interesting.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So here's a quick comment that I'm curious about. Colin Firth was brilliant conveying both the stutter and the speech impediment. Wasn't the stutter the speech impediment? Aren't they the one and the same, or am I missing something here?
No.
All
I
right.
think it's the same thing.
Maybe she meant the stutter and the speech.
And then just autocorrected added impediment. Adam liked Jeffrey Rush, but his zero interest in the monarchy, and it was a chore to slog through.
I likewise agree. I have zero interest in the British monarchy, but I do have a lot of interest in history and World War II in particular. So that was still very interesting to me for that reason.
Yeah.
Well,
I appreciate the use of the word slog.
Yes. Congratulations, Adam.
Well done,
I think
Adam.
that's the first slog we've ever had. Also, the other thing my wife said was, if you want to watch the continuation of this movie,
King's Speech 2.
No, the first
Hitler's Revenge.
King's Speech again, Electric Boogaloo.
The king still speaks.
No, you watch the first episode of The Crown.
Yes.
And it pretty much takes from the point where she becomes queen.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
Yeah. I guess The Crown like recasts every season.
Yes.
Not every.
Is that the thing?
Well, it moves between eras. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
It's not because they're recasting; it's because they're aging. So it's more that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really good.
So obviously, Amanda, you've seen this before. This was my first time. Was this anybody else's first time for this movie?
Me.
Yeah. Me and Dan. Maybe some people in the comments. I did
Reagan's first.
I thought it was. I had very low expectations going into it. I was like, I don't know if this is a movie I'll enjoy, and I ended up really liking it, which sometimes works out well when I don't have any expectations.
Right.
But I mean, it really, at first it's like, oh, this is going to be incredibly predictable, right? Like, he's got a problem. He goes.
He's going to overcome it, and yes,
they become friends. He helps them. Something happens. They don't get along. Then they get along again. It's like, that's pretty predictable. But the way it all played out, it was just awesome. Adam's not watching it again. Adam's absolutely done.
Yeah, I mean, slow. I won't disagree that it was slow, but slow to me isn't always bad, because slow sometimes is just a way of developing the character and developing the situation. If slow is just because nothing's happening, which I'm sure is how some of them viewed this, I can understand that, but it works for me, at least in this case.
And I will say, because Dave, you have made that comment before, and I have disagreed with you about slow.
Yes.
But for this, the pacing I felt was right on target. Right, like to have this be fast paced would have been weird. Right? Like it would have felt totally misjointed.
Yes, if you watch it on Freevee
Or
or on
that would
Pluto
make
or
more.
Tubi, they did have commercials.
Right in the middle of a dramatic scene, you get to hear about reverse mortgages from Tom Selleck or something.
If a stammer goes on long enough that there's a commercial like mid stutter, like
Yeah. Commercial break. That's great.
He's having trouble getting the words out.
Let's go to commercial. Maybe
We'll be
we'll
right back.
figure it out by the time we're back.
I did feel the strongest, other than just the history, the strongest thing about this was the casting, with one exception. And this may not be the casting, this may have been the director, but I didn't like the portrayal of Churchill at all. I thought he was
terrible.
He was a cartoon. He was not good.
Choice. Yeah.
And
yes.
especially having seen Gary Oldman in Darkest Hour, you know, it didn't work for me. But that was a minor complaint.
What was interesting for me about the casting is I'm so used to Helena Bonham Carter in like madcap, zany, over the top role.
Yeah.
The first thing I've seen her in where I'm like, oh, she can act. That's awesome.
Yeah,
the same thing about Johnny Depp when we watched one of his movies earlier. Is I'm so used to seeing him as Captain Jack Sparrow type of roles that when you realize he can really act. That's just not the roles he's taken recently.
Yeah, they said that
Acting doesn't pay.
Scheduling this was tricky around her filming Harry Potter, where she is Bellatrix.
Just filming that simultaneously.
Insane, yeah, and
diversity.
But just during all the speech scenes, though, just them cutting to her and just watching her watch him give the speech is just such like it really adds a level of tension to it. Just
my favorite scene like that was when she walks into the room when he's listening to the record.
Yeah,
and her facial expression as she hears him not stuttering, and it's just like doesn't even how to react. It's just
right.
Well, this I thought is also kind of impressive. I'll pull this up real quick. Is the awards. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. It was a huge winner.
Academy for Best Picture, Academy for Best Director, Academy for Best Actor.
They did okay.
Academy for Writing. Lots of BAFTAs. The Empire Award, Screen Actors Guild Award, Satellite Award, British Independent Film Award, Goya Award for having a lot of Goyim, Costume Designer Guild. It's got a lot of awards. Polish Academy Award for Best European Film.
Wow.
Czech Lion Award for Best Foreign Film.
And the Harvey Weinstein Award for
I was honestly I deducted 2 points from my score because Harvey Weinstein was in the credits.
That's hard.
The thing I noticed about Helena Bonham Carter playing in this role is she is a lot prettier than the Queen Mother ever was. Just my personal opinion there, but.
Yes, Ray also loved when Jeffrey Rush's wife came home to the king in her house.
Yes,
it was kind of funny.
Gosh, that scene for me is what took. I was like, I love this.
With the two of them hiding around the corners.
Standout moment for me in this movie, where that's the moment I would go back and rewatch just that 5 minutes again. That was,
and when the king is shouting, when he's shouting obscenities, and his two kids are sitting in the other room, the next room.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
My mom says she saw it before and feels it was an excellent film with excellent acting. The king, as a younger son, was not expected to do anything in his life. He was treated horribly by his nanny and his parents, which caused a speech impediment. Also, they did allude to the fact that he might have been born left-handed, and they tried to change him, or they did change him to right-handed. And that happened to my dad. And I had a basketball player that I coached years ago who his dad said he became dyslexic from his mom trying to change him to be right-handed because it was evil to be left-handed.
Yeah, I had also seen him. Oh, I mean, yeah.
The lefties, we're all evil.
Yeah. Clear.
I had also seen that they said that before the movie came out, if you Googled like Lionel Logue's name, like there were like 2 search results. There was like nothing. And there really was very little known about this piece of history. And about 9 weeks before filming started, they got in contact with the grandson of Lionel Logue, who found a journal in his attic that was written by his grandfather that had detailed notes of his interactions with the king and his process. And this was completely unknown to historians before like this film got a hold of it, which they were able to use. And like they said that like the speeches were annotated, like the one that you saw in the film, like that. The line at the end of the film, you still stuttered on the W. Well, I had to let them know it was me. That was actually something that he actually said, and that was recorded in the journal as an actual.
Wow.
Yeah, and Colin Firth insisted on having that in once he'd read it.
That's
Yeah,
very
it's a good
cool.
line.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I love history.
Tried that earlier, it didn't work.
Well,
Yeah, I mean and I wonder too about because you never know in a movie like this, because it's trying to be historical accuracy while telling an entertaining story. You know, it's trying to balance those two which is a tough thing to do, I admit.
Yeah.
And one of the criticisms I've had of movies of this type in the past is, couldn't they have gone a little closer to reality? But I get it. We had Apollo 13 was another one. We've had a few films that are very much based on historical fact. You know, Goonies. But the
totally happened.
oh, absolutely. I do wonder about supposedly the king's final words.
Yeah.
About saying that, you know, Birdie had more guts, or however it is, I don't remember the exact phrase that was used, than the rest of them
And his
put
brothers-
together.
Yeah.
And whether that was just made up for the film or that was something that really happened, because that was an interesting moment that wasn't really elaborated on much.
Right. I agree with that.
Because
do
you
wonder
saw
that.
the dad berating him at the radio, you know, at the mic when he said, "Just do it, you know," yelling at him. And you just cringe when you see things like that. You just wonder what their relationship was like.
Yep.
I was concerned about the historical accuracy of the wave when he's on the balcony. It was like this little, like, weird, like, what is going on with your hand?
Well, yeah, I think it seemed very overdone to me.
Yeah, that was like.
I remember doing that in college and stuff.
This I get, but this was more of a.
It was like this.
It was weird.
It was.
He was not raising the roof. I'm afraid no roofs were raised in 1940.
When you said the wave, I was thinking this.
Yeah, they go to the stadium and people were doing this.
It was the 90s.
You didn't see that's what they were doing behind the gate there at the.
Yeah.
All right, are we doing this? Are we gonna rate? We're gonna throw some numbers.
Let's do it.
All right, we're gonna ask for your scores from 0 to 100. No, not 0. Sorry, 1 to 100. We're gonna come up with a rating for our lovely movie for tonight.
And Amanda goes first because it's her movie.
That's right.
Sounds good. So I like this movie a lot. I've been increasingly getting into interest in history and historical movies, and this is a really interesting historical story that isn't really told in other mediums. I think the acting is amazing. I think the pacing, while a bit slow, is very good. I think it's broken up interestingly by bits of humor and things like that. I do think there are some things that could have been more historically accurate or toned down or something. Like, so they mentioned the Archbishop being like this weirdly intense figure during the coronation moment. And like the actions that he took, I think could have been framed in a way that didn't like linger on him glowering at the king. And like, that would have been fine. But like in general, I think this is a great movie. And yeah, held up from because I haven't seen it, I think in like maybe 7 or 8 years at this point, but even though I used to watch it a fair amount, so I'm happy that I still enjoy it as much as I do. So I'm going to give it a 93.
All right, we'll start with the 93 and we'll go to Bugger Birdie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. We saw it in the theater when it came out and really enjoyed it. We enjoyed it enough that when the Blu-ray came out, we bought it, but then we hadn't watched it until we watched it for this. So it's been sitting on the shelf for 10 years, basically. But you know, the casting, again, other than Churchill, and that may be more the director than the actor, was spot on. I thought was excellent. It was the highlight of it, definitely. The writing was good, but again, some of the historical wackiness did annoy me a little bit. There's a quote from the Wikipedia page. They were talking about Churchill being there for the speech and things like that. And some people, high-ranking officials, would not have been present when the king made his speech, nor would Churchill have been involved at any level. But they're quoted as saying, "But the average viewer knows who Churchill is. He doesn't know who Lord Halifax is or Sir Samuel Hoare are." So I felt like they should have trusted their audience a little bit more than they did. But that's easy for me to say. If I'm putting millions of dollars into a movie, I want it to make that money back. And if I think that some changes will help that happen and let more people see it, I understand why they made them. Just personally, I wish they hadn't.
Right.
It was enough to bring it down a little bit, but it's still a movie I enjoy a great deal, and I guarantee I'll watch it again sometime. Probably be a few years, but I will watch it again. So it was a 92 for me.
92 for Dave.
Nice.
Let's go to Mr. and Mrs. Johnson.
This was my second time to watch it, I think, and I didn't remember it exactly as I thought I would, and that's good. And but I enjoyed it as much as I did the first time. Good casting. Colin Firth is amazing, always, and he was so good with his stutter that he was annoying Reagan. So the noises, yeah, it was bad. She doesn't like noise, so I think I'm going to give it a 90.
Nice.
Okay, so so I liked it too. I remember the first time we saw it, I thought it was pretty good then too. Casting was really good. So I guess I'll give it an 87.
I can
All right.
see why you find the stuttering, not just because it's frustrating to watch, but
Yeah.
also because there's sort of almost like the gurgling sound he sort of
Yes.
makes when he's trying to get the words out. That's like,
Yes.
ooh.
Yes. Then she
Reagan Ryder says 77. Nothing crazy, but I don't know. I thought it was beautiful and felt good to watch.
and then she added
I
a
agree.
statement way down at the bottom. Add her amendment statement.
Just kidding. Bump it up to an 80 for Jeffrey Rush.
You kidder, you. The joke scores.
Rebecca says first time watching. She figured it would be good. She was not disappointed. 91. Jen Genzel also gives it a 91. Really enjoyed it. Some basic complaints that Amanda had, but a very solid movie. I don't mind slow movies if there's good characterization and I'm interested in what's going on. It's kind of like this show. Lots of
there's
characterizations.
We've got characters. That's for
My mom gives it a 96.
Whoa.
B says good actors, good production, great story, really slow and boring. 67 from Richard.
That's Richard.
Uh,
He gave it an 81. If you can find Brittany's.
so many people in here.
There we
Yes.
go. I know it's like an all
I
comment.
like learning about history. 81 would have been higher, a pinch faster pace, but started way down.
Just got to play it at 1.5 speed, and it'll go by.
Who was it?
And then Brian is also at a 71.
Brittany.
Okay. He didn't cry.
They're all together.
He said
Aw.
he didn't connect with the characters and it should have made him cry.
Brian.
That's a weird way to go
It's
about it.
because there were commercials and you were with Richard and Brittany. That's
Maybe
why.
if his horse had sunk in the swamp, he would have cried.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, by the way, I
we
did
had
want
the
to mention.
stable full of horses, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They could have sunk on the move. Like that would have been.
They had all the horses lined up at the balcony.
They were so
Little
cute.
hobby horse.
Oh my god.
Did anyone else notice? You know, like whenever there's a microphone in any movie or TV show, and somebody like they screw up a word or they forget their words, you get the feedback. They had a horse whinny instead of feedback. I thought that was awesome because it was like totally silent. So I was like, instead of there. All right, let's go to our newest guest, Rhonda Russell.
Well, I have to abstain because I did not see the movie. I just found out Saturday.
All
That's
right,
okay. I'm glad you're here.
Fine, that's okay.
well, you can be involved in
Glad
picking
you're
next
here.
week's movie.
I can be.
Yeah, we'll see
I-
what.
I'm
Awesome.
traveling regularly, so we'll see how this goes.
Yay!
All right.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting. That's perfect. All right, Dan, it's up to you.
By the way, Stacy, Brian says you're absolutely right, but it's because he's been crying all week. He's all out of
Brittany,
tears.
quit making him cry.
They're bullying him.
You know, they did have signs for him at the airport that
Those were nice
they're
signs.
not polite.
This was my first time. I had speech therapy when I was in grade school, my ethith and my auth. And my son also had speech issues. And I used to be afraid to get in front of people and speak. So you can overcome these things, apparently.
Yes.
And I gave it a 92.
Wow.
I think also might be what Dave gave it.
Hmm?
And
Wow.
my wife, her first score ever.
Wait, I gotta make
at
it.
her.
Hold on.
A whole new column.
Very excited.
She gave a score. But she said there's an asterisk by her score. She goes, I don't know your scores.
No,
It's 1 to 100.
It's fine.
And she said, that's okay.
Create her
Just
own
for this
system.
movie. She saw this movie in the theater when we first moved here, because it was in 2010, I think is when it came out, if I'm not mistaken. By the way, Brian's extremely grumpy at all the scores over 79. Talk to the Academy, Brian.
Oh, that's Brian's never-ending story.
So much grumpiness. That's all right. We haven't got a score yet. It'll be okay, Brian.
And my wife scores an 88, was what she
gave. Very solid.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now we go to Mr. Schlembacher.
Oh, hello, it's me.
Mr.
Hi,
Pixel.
how are ya?
Next week will not be pixelated.
I'm in theory. We'll see how that goes. I hopefully will be able to wave to you all in high definition next week with a very awkward a little wave here. Let me see if we can pull this up. Here it comes. There's the knowing glance. There's the here's my successful nod to you as the king. And then I see the wave and I'm like, what's happening up there? What is going on?
Fish wave.
Comes again. Waka 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 waka.
That was correct. His
That's
hand
right.
is just too big.
Yeah,
We're used to the queen.
I took a point off because of the. I'm kidding.
That's just the flies. He's just the flies.
It's how you
I
whip an
agree
egg.
with what He said the
Signal
acting,
an
is
airplane
awesome.
in.
The casting is great. It was 2 hours. I did not feel it. I at no point was like, oh my gosh, how much time is left to this. I enjoyed this a lot. Honestly, I think and this is I do tend to be rough the first time I see a movie. That I feel like with repeated viewings, I tend to rate movies higher. So next time I watch it, I might be even higher. But right now, I was at an 89. I really enjoyed it. So yay! How about that? All right.
There
So
you go.
we have not heard from Adam. Yeah.
Well, Adam's being very slow and boring with his score.
He
Hold
fell
on, he might have
asleep.
given it a long time ago.
paced.
Did you give it a long time ago and I missed
It
it?
would be faster paced. We have to sloth through.
Slog.
Slug. We're
through.
slugging.
Sorry, slog through. Slog.
Slogging?
Um,
Slog. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
a blog, but slower.
It's a slog, but it's a slog blog. So, well, in the meantime,
Well, maybe if Adam doesn't give a score, then we just let's let it go.
well, that's true.
Oh, if he doesn't get his score, this is really going to be up there.
Oh, that would be really upsetting. All right. Well, while we wait, I have a TikTok.
Just to make Brian angry.
I have a great TikTok for everybody while we wait.
If you like to talk
Oh my gosh, I love it.
if possible, can make you smile. If you like to roll with potatoes up and down, but don't be
I love those videos that they put that music to. It cracks me up.
Adam's
My
working.
favorite one was Pitbull.
Oh boy. All right. Adam's working, but he did find time.
Oh no.
Oh, yes, he put up his score.
Oh good.
You gonna do it? You wanna bring it up?
All right, hold on. I was clicking on something, trying to do something else.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, double digit.
This will be the same score that he gave Mean Girls.
If I get my, is there a movie named Paint Dry? Because if so, I'm going to pick it for my next movie.
Wow.
And we had like 80 scores tonight, so Adam's score really didn't affect it that much.
Maybe.
No, to be honest with you, what's interesting is I have run my spreadsheet so I get to see both what it would be with the highest and lowest score removed, as well as what it is with our current.
Brian.
Brian, do not
Hey,
celebrate.
Brian, I thought you'd be crying at my score.
Now, let me see. Hold on. I got to get this in here. I got to get this into place. Oh, man. Hold on. Oh, it's close. Oh, wow. We've got like All right, here we go. Here is where the King's Speech ends up on the big leaderboard.
One?
Shocking. Page 1, just beating out Beetlejuice.
And
Wow.
below Notting Hill.
Wow.
81. Wait, how did you get an 81?
81.88 and 81.
There were several 70s. There were several low 70s, not just Adam
Okay.
being low.
And some
Yeah, there were a
80s.
number
There were a
of
lot of 90s.
There were.
Yeah.
And then there was Brian.
I call for a recount.
You're welcome to review the spreadsheet later.
Brian and Adam were colluding behind the scenes to pull the score down.
By the way, Dave provided this. There is a movie called Paint Dry.
Wow.
And Adam would like to
2017.
watch it, apparently.
Only an hour and 20 minutes. Written and directed and starring Cesar Asgelbold.
Ooh.
Alcazab.
Look at this
What is
star-studded
solid?
cast. Not like only one person has a picture.
Wow.
So you know it's a quality.
It's an offbeat
film.
comedy.
Oh, it's offbeat, all right.
Well, that way people can say I'd rather watch Paint Dry. It's a perfect name for a movie. Oh yeah,
So,
Brian's
yeah,
all
watch Paint
cried
Dry.
out.
He's all cried out.
Is that a Whitney Houston song? Who sang that song? All cried out over you.
You.
Was
All
that
right.
Whitney Houston? Who was that?
That's a great.
Come on,
question.
DJ.
Well, that's not a common wedding song. Lisa, I'm going to say Lisa, and Cult Jim.
All right, I think you're right. I'm gonna find
And
out.
I'm Googling it. And yes, Lisa, and Cult Jim.
Good job, Eric.
Ooh, way to go, Eric.
Woo!
Pull
So you have to get that EriDan trivia night going.
I know.
Yeah.
Stump
All
the
right.
DJ.
Shall we? The moment you've been waiting for. Whee! Okay. All right. So as you know, for every score you provide, you get a space on the wheel. So Amanda, you have one space on the wheel.
If
I
could
have a
get-
feeling Adam's revenge is coming.
That
yeah,
happens.
getting three times in like a 6 week period seems a little excessive.
So yeah, so you still get a space, but
Well, no, she
Yeah,
should not get a
couple-
space right after
no,
the
because
movie you
provided
do.
tonight a score for tonight. You get a space for your
But you should not get a space the day after you did it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna.
I have had times when I have just abstained for a week,
Yeah,
but that's
if
all
I come up tonight, I'm not
You're
gonna.
welcome to do that.
Yeah.
And there are names on the wheel for some people who aren't with us. So obviously, if they are
Yeah, we can
chosen,
respin.
we will then respin.
and I would say you could put Rhonda on the wheel, even though she
did.
appeared tonight, but she didn't
Rhonda
get a
is
score.
on the wheel. Rhonda is on the wheel because of her first appearance.
Okay.
So she does have one space on the wheel. As well.
The way things have been going, Rhonda, get a movie ready.
If you provide a score, or if you're here,
You've
right?
got to play to win.
Yes. So I think we're ready. I think we're ready. Let's find out who gets to choose the movie for next week. Here we go. There's the spin. Where will it land? We have no idea.
Round and round and round she goes. Where she
Spencer's
stops, nobody
killing us all.
knows.
And it goes to Reagan.
Oh my! I feel like Reagan just picked last week.
Well, no, Reagan chose last week through her
She
mother.
picked by proxy, yeah, last week.
Yeah, she got a choice through her mother last week.
Is she upstairs?
Oh, she's sitting right next to me.
I didn't
Why isn't she
I
on?
didn't hear her squeal in delight.
She's watching Dancing with the Stars. That's fine.
Last time I picked was
You
in
can
May,
tell what her taste is. Yeah.
except for
Yeah.
last 2 weeks ago when you picked Mean Girls.
She looks cozy.
She is.
Are you
She's
picking
got a
Mean
thing.
Girls? Mean Girls 2?
No.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
That might be better than that.
I'm checking the stat board.
Paint Dry? You gonna watch Paint Dry?
Actually, Reagan chose back in May, and she
That's what she
chose
said.
Columbus. Was her last official.
What
movie
did she choose?
Columbus.
Oh,
Yes, that's right.
Oh,
No.
And she's also over the time she's chosen Room. She has chosen.
Always one-word titles.
Yes. She's into one-word titles.
Is
Who
That's
picked
why
Hugo?
she has only do Mean Girls indirectly because it was a.
So she's
tour.
going to choose
Right.
Smile this week.
possibly do that.
No.
Dolphin Tail? No. Give me a sec. All right. It's got
Yeah, I
two
told
words
her
in
that.
it. Can't do Dolphin Tail.
Well, she's
Titanic.
been watching it over
Oh,
and
yeah.
over.
I'm getting
Titanic.
comments that Brian's having trouble getting in, but I do not see Brian trying to get in. I'm getting that comment on my
He
phone.
might have the old, if he's on a laptop he was using before, use an incognito window and try.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, if you're having trouble to
Does
join,
he just want to come berate us all for liking?
he might. Yes, he wants to. Well,
Let's
He's
Let's see
pretty
if we can make
calm.
him cry.
He's
Let's
not.
make it a challenge.
He's
wow.
very calm though, Amanda. He won't scare us too much. He's
Oh,
not
no.
a scary
Well, we
guy,
can-
is
we
what I
can,
mean. He's a sweetheart.
Uh-huh.
We can give Reagan a moment or two, and we can talk about what else people have been watching.
Only when there were a Dexter movie.
Oh no,
One word.
bad.
Dave.
Or like a two-part
Bucker.
episode that you can treat as a movie. Like,
Or a Chuck movie.
Oh
How about Chucky?
no.
same thing.
Did she choose Shazam back in the
I think
day?
she's
When
watched
did-
that
who
one.
chose
Oh,
that sounds
look what
right.
she picked. She picked her movie.
Her choice.
Here it is.
Oh wait.
Oh,
Whoa.
We get a
I've
Sandra
never seen
Bullock
that,
movie.
actually.
Sandra Bullock. Wow. That's amazing. I haven't seen that movie for a long time.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie. Interesting.
Oh, we have it, I'm pretty sure, on DVD.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, from
All right.
2002, currently streaming on Netflix and
yes.
HBO Max.
She's an undercover cop. She's a beauty queen.
For purchase.
Don't give
Sandy
away the
Bullock.
plot.
I think it's already out there, isn't it? It says federal agent right on the thing.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the cover when I Google it, yeah, it's not subtle.
It's like, what could this be about?
Is that how they choose federal agents? Do they have like a
That's
big beauty
Federal,
contest
that's
to
just a
federal agents
sponsor of
then?
the beauty
Yeah,
pageant.
okay.
This is not an Adam movie.
No.
It's
And
probably,
then-
it's probably faster paced.
Oh, and speaking of not Adam movies,
Oh, you're going there? Okay, hold on. Wait, I was in the midst
didn't
of
have
That was very nice of you not to say, speaking of Miss Congeniality.
Brittany's right here.
Wait, don't show them up.
Oh,
wow.
Upside down
The upside down.
Hi.
Hey, I was just
Yeah.
going to point out. I was just going to point out. Bonus watching. Also on HBO Max is Miss Congeniality 2, Armed and Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Spoilers: she doesn't die in the first movie. Okay,
and her cover isn't blood or something. Okay.
just saying. How are you, Brian?
Doing pretty good. I was hurting from the flight earlier in the week, but I'm doing better.
Doing better. All right. Well, we're gonna jump into what else people have been watching, and I'm sure
That's
that's
why I came. Yeah.
Is Miss Congeniality our first William?
all right. Everybody.
Dave got cut off. What were you saying, Dave?
I was just going to ask, is Miss Congeniality our first William Shatner movie?
Oh, that's
He's in that?
Yeah, he's in it.
Yes, he's in
Really?
it.
Wait, other than While You Were Sleeping, is it our second Sandra Bullock movie?
I feel like all the movies are Sandra Bullock.
I don't
she
even know how to. I don't even
It's
know how
great
to
at
enter
Saving
this one.
Private Ryan.
Oh, look at this party scene that's happening here. I feel like we're missing.
Yeah, I gotta go out there.
Come on, I want to see this. What?
Wow, it's like the NFL draft is happening.
I was just playing D&D.
We're gonna do characters for mine.
But
Yeah.
you lost your saving throw, so you have to watch Miss Congeniality.
I am watching my my draft team right now. My fantasy team now.
Oh, and football?
Yeah.
Yeah, my team's not the coach.
Brittany's in my chair though.
Haha, it's my chair. I live here. Oh, you can't see him if you do that.
This is wild.
I was gonna say put him up there.
Interesting.
Oh man.
It's like a behind-the-scenes video.
I know.
It is. It
Like,
really
what's
is.
going on? It's like Big Brother.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, did you have to eat slop for dinner?
I made dinner. It was awesome.
Very good. That's a good guess.
So we'll start. Brian, I want to start with you. Did you watch anything on the flight?
I did not. I'm scared of flying, so I was white knuckling a little and
Watching
trying to
stuff is
shift
so-
my weight because it hurt.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you didn't watch Air Force One, or
No.
Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
Passenger 57,
Die Hard 2.
Airport 77.
We've attempted to scare him from flying home. We keep telling him his plane's going down.
Oh
my gosh!
They're like, they're
Makes
all
me
gonna
want to
go
throw
home.
up. Yeah.
Like,
you know what? Rent
Why
a
are you
car.
visiting these people, Brian?
I guess they're my friends. I don't know.
They
Well,
tell you they
actually,
are.
If you think about it,
They
they
don't want
really
you to
are.
leave.
They don't want you to leave. They want you to stay.
Because he cooks for them. That's why.
is that it?
Yeah. No, we're gonna. I made a Harry Potter Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing, and we're gonna do that real soon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But I wanted to say, yeah, because we were talking about me crying and stuff, right? Well, Brittany's been playing these like really touching, kids shows.
You can lose it.
I've just been bawling my eyes out, man.
What are
I'm
you
not
watching?
even kidding, okay?
What is she watching?
Well,
We
I
watching the
always-
Backyardigans.
Blue's Clues.
Just like Encanto, like on repeat, and that makes me cry a lot.
Rugrats.
And yeah,
Brave Little Toaster.
Caillou.
Girl
We're
Meets
watching
World.
Caillou.
yeah.
Tell him the other one, Brian.
Tell him
Sesame
the other
Street.
one, but no.
And I will if you
I'm
don't.
embarrassed.
I will if you don't. So,
Oh no.
Girl Meets World.
Oh,
Well, Boy Meets World is a definite
Listen,
tearjerker.
it makes me cry. Okay. It's always like, and I'm like, oh.
And then
Yeah.
Jackass the movie.
SpongeBob.
No, not SpongeBob.
I mean, his pants are square.
They are.
It gets
Thinking
hot.
about how hard that would be.
He lives in a pineapple.
under
It sounds like we've transitioned into what else are you watching?
You take a summer vacation.
But yeah, no, like the movie, it was good. The actor was good that we just watched. I just didn't connect with it, and I might be cried out, and that's why. So
That could be. That could be.
yeah.
I mean, it's hard to
Hatred
equal
of the
up
British
to
royal family.
Girl Meets World in terms of emotional impact, so I get it.
It gets me. Yeah.
That's
So,
funny.
but I love you guys. I gotta head out. We gotta do this.
Back to the
Have fun with your
game.
D&D game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get some tissues.
That's cute.
That's awesome.
We started watching on Netflix. We binge watched the whole way through Dairy Girls.
Yeah.
Set in Ireland. Bye, guys.
Enjoy.
They're gonna miss this.
It's-
Oh.
What?
Oh.
So we watched Dairy Girls this week, and you have to have your subtitles on,
yeah.
or you cannot understand a word they're saying.
But were they mean dairy girls?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes it's pretty funny. It's set in the 90s, so it was near the end of the when the peace thing came through. So there was bombings and stuff, and it made me think. Here's me. It's supposed to be a comedy, but I'm like, wow, I never realized that people, in Ireland were in danger like they were. It just was shocking to me a little bit. So, but it's mostly a comedy. One of those, oh my God, we have to watch the next one. So it's pretty funny. So it's on Netflix, and I recommend it, but with subtitles.
With Colin Farrell and Brandon Gleeson making the rounds of the talk shows for their new movie, The Banshees of Inisherin. When they show the clips from the movie, you almost need subtitles on because the Irish accent is just so
Well, it's funny because we didn't even Reagan finally said, they don't even sound Irish. I said, no, we don't hear the real Irish is the problem. We don't. We hear that fake movie Irish.
The Frosted Lucky Charms.
Yeah, exactly. There was none of that. None.
I was looking for this the whole show, and I just finally found it. It's a little late, but I'm going to play it anyway.
What'd you get?
Are you ready?
Oh boy,
you have to listen. It's not often that I play a TikTok.
Okay, tell me who your favorite English actor is without telling me who your favorite English actor is. I'll go first. He was great in King's Speech.
I'll go first.
I don't know if you've seen the sequel, Prince's Speech, but she's in another castle. Okay, tell me who your favorite English actor is without telling
So
me.
people
who your
accused him
favorite
of stealing that
English
joke,
actor
but then
is.
he
I'll
proved it.
go first.
Oh,
He wrote it in
Great
2011.
in King's Speech.
wow.
I don't know if you've seen the sequel, Prince's Speech, but she's in another castle.
Princess Peach. She's in another castle.
Princess Peach.
Yeah.
Oh, Princess Peach. Oh, now I get it.
Man, that just came in handy.
I'll go first. I just did it for the I'll go first.
Woo! Wow.
So I can't tell you the last movie I saw. I've been on so many planes in the last couple months that I know I've seen some, but I have no idea which one it's been. Because when you fly twice a week.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You need to talk to Brian to calm him down. Because I'm afraid of heights, like totally afraid of heights. But flying to me is so much better than driving 35 hours.
I enjoy. I hate the airport experience. I enjoy flying.
I get stressed out during takeoff. And even after 30 seconds, I'm good. But from the acceleration to takeoff until we getting toward cruising altitude, I'm a little stressed during that, and I have to not do anything, just kind of close my eyes. But after that, I'm good.
That's how my dad was. I think that came from the military. He had, he knew so many issues with takeoffs, and that was the most dangerous part of the flight. So yeah.
So Rhonda, what have you been?
I can honestly tell you that there's many days I don't even know that we've taken off. I'm already asleep.
So Rhonda, have you watched anything? Are you watching TV? Are you reading books? Are you listening to podcasts?
Are you watching TikTok with Derek?
Is there any entertainment in your life besides tonight?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, this year's been hard for me, as most of you guys know. So I haven't had the time. I'm dealing with the grandkids and everything around my daughter's death. So there's been a lot of other stuff I've had to deal with. The last movie I do remember seeing was Marry Me. I can't even remember who's in it. And I know that was on a flight.
Owen
Wilson. I saw Top Gun.
Yeah.
Maverick.
There you go.
I did see that. And I saw something else in the theater, but I can't remember what it was now. So I've seen a couple of musicals. Entertainment for me has been sporadic in the last year.
Sure.
Because of the way things have been. So so I do try to get out, and we're coming up on a year, so it's a little bittersweet. So it's hard for me to tell you
sure,
a whole lot of stuff that I've seen, because
of course not.
And honestly, it's weird because normally I could remember things like this, and I can tell you that there are days I'm like, what day is it? Because I just can't remember. Something in my brain just kind of shattered, and so it's where I am.
Yep.
Well, we hope you can keep joining us so we can make you smile and laugh a little bit.
Yeah, that's good, because I need it.
Yes, we would love to have you.
Although I have to tell you a funny story.
Please.
It's not a movie story.
That's okay.
But I had my grandkids with me. I went home. I was home for Easter, and I took them to the Easter service at my parents' church. And that's the first time they'd ever seen a baptism, full immersion baptism.
Oh, yeah.
And first time I'd ever seen one, as a matter of fact. So they were sitting on their knees, and they're watching everything, And so I took them to the church that I go to here in Pennsylvania when I'm home in Ben Avenue. I grew up Presbyterian. And so about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I took them to that church. And that's the pastor there who did Robin's service, my daughter's service, who also baptized the kids when they were little. And so we go to the church, and I had told the kids that that's the church that they were baptized in. And so they walk in, and my oldest grandson, the boys are twins, and Will is 3 minutes older than James. And Will walks in, and he looks at the pastor, and he goes, "You're the lady that gave us a bath." And
that's
she's
awesome.
and she laughs. I mean, she's she's laughing about it, whatever. So I take them home that Sunday night, and their other grandma calls me 3 days later. She goes, "I forgot to tell you. I meant to tell you what Will said after you left." And I'm thinking, okay, well, what could he have said? And she goes, he starts telling me about this lady who gave him a bath. and she's like, and I'm sitting there going, well, Grammy's not going to just let anybody give you a bath. So she goes, she put you in a big tub, and he goes, well, I don't remember. She goes, well, did she sprinkle water on your head? He goes, I don't remember. He says, I just know she gave me a bath. So that's my funny
baptism.
The baptism.
John the Baptist. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I'll go first.
So Dan,
Yes.
a show that you would probably enjoy. I think of you more than anyone else in this group when I think of it. Have you watched any episodes of Welcome to Wrexham?
Welcome to what now?
Wrexham.
Oh, Wrexham. Oh, you said Wrexham.
No, the colonoscopy comes later.
I have not.
Wow.
It's Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhaney's series of them buying a British football club, a Welsh football club, actually. And I know you enjoy sports movies a great deal, if they're well made, of course. And this show is really interesting. It's a surprisingly entertaining watch. It's sort of, it's partly about the club. It's partly about them buying the club. It really is very well done.
Wrexham, I barely know him.
There you go.
Well, that is cool. And
Yeah.
and my son watched I'm forgetting the name of it. Go on, talk amongst yourselves.
And I have been rewatching some Sherlocks in preparation for the end of the month.
I got a chance to watch the first one, and that was exciting.
We have not watched that yet. What was it on? What was it streaming on?
Some weird.
Yeah, some weird platform. No, it's on Crackle. It's on Crackle. Yeah, Crackle. But that's with
And
commercial.
quit. You know, I don't want to rip on any network at all because I never know what could end up happening.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I could have a show on one of them, and there could be video of me going Crackle. What that piece of crap?
My new
Crackle's
show.
awesome.
My new show is streaming on Flubbits. Everybody, go down Flubbits. Download Flubbits right now.
You need Flubbits Plus.
Yes.
Yeah, Crackle Plus. Yeah.
Severance. That's the show.
Oh yes.
Unfinished Severance.
Oh,
Amazing first season.
Yeah, amazing
I've heard
show.
good things.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to get him to watch Counterpart, the one you recommended. Amazing show. And I've been on my Law and Order kick forever. Again, I watched the very first episode of Law and Order. Wow, the formula was different back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I watched the most recent episode from like last week or this week, and seeing the difference between the two, pretty wild.
That's wild.
That's good that they changed it. I didn't think that they did.
Yeah, it wasn't always, you know, two people walking down the street finding a dead body.
I just killed two birds with.
Sorry.
What are you killing birds for, Eric?
I was preparing, but
Oh, one thing, my fantasy football team is going to go all the way to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
One thing, my
Wait, sorry.
And Eric also showed me his new favorite comedian.
Well, this is what I was getting to. Who has a number of specials on Amazon and has a new special coming soon. And I thought I'd play a clip because somebody had mentioned fantasy football, and this is the clip that introduced me to this guy, who I enjoy tremendously. His name is Robert Mack, and you know, I thought we'd see if people enjoyed this. I think this is the right crowd for this bit.
For one thing, my fantasy football team is going to go all the way to the Super Fantasy Bowl, which is in Narnia. You know who we just got on our team? Babe Ruth. Nobody wanted him. Babe Ruth was on my fantasy football team. And Checker Woods, he was just voted athlete of the decade, and that guy knows how to score. He's on my team. Beyonce is on my fantasy football team. Yeah. If your team is all guys, that's your fantasy. And you know who you are. But I fantasize different, and we're going to get married. Because I put a ring on it. Yeah. Babe Ruth, Tiger, my fiance Beyonce. Let me check the rest of the roster here real quick. We've got.
That's funny. Bringing in props.
Poseidon and
Poseidon.
Incredible Hulk. A young Sir Isaac Newton. We've got Godzilla. Unicorn for special teams. A couple of ligers. We got a new captain. They kicked our old captain out of the league for using a banned substance, and they have a zero tolerance policy now for kryptonite. So we picked up Gandalf the Wise from the Mordor Warlords, which is not easy to say. Try it. Mordor Warlords. Everybody.
Mordor Warlords.
You guys sound like idiots. Mordor Warlords. Sounds pretty stupid when you do it.
How long is this TikTok?
Yeah, does this end sometime?
Oh, he's got the fawns.
That's how we met. And I know that's not his real name. His real name is Arthur Fonzarelli. Who else here? We've got
Bought one of those things.
a young Lisa Simpson. Muammar Gaddafi from Libya. Defense. Too soon. Bluebeard the Pirate and Jim Morrison. Yeah, he breaks on through the other side quite often.
I like his joke. Actually, I added an opening to one of his jokes. I think makes it a little funnier. Sorry, but he went to he and he probably just edited because he was doing dad jokes. It was like 15 dad jokes in 30 seconds or something. So he went shopping in Little Italy, and he went into a cherry store and a microphone store. Bada bing, bada boom. It's a great joke. He just didn't do the Little Italy part, but it might be part of it. You don't like bada bing, bada boom?
It was a good punchline in search of a joke.
I've got a great punchline. Write this joke. Should I pump or nickel? There's something there.
You keep working that one, Dan.
Something there.
One of the worst Saturday Night Lives I've ever seen was this past weekend.
Oh my God, it was horrible. Weekend Update was still the best part of it.
Weekend Update was okay.
It wasn't even that great.
Yeah, but it was not good.
You know, it wasn't until last season I realized that Colin Hanks, Chris Yost, Colin Jost, and Michael Che wear the same suits every week. And Michael Che is a.
How do you tell them apart?
Exactly. What, the suits?
The new Hell.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
Halloween Kills.
I'm going to go see it now that Adam says don't see
Halloween
it.
Ends. Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis has been making the rounds plugging it.
Oh.
Did she die in it? Because she said it's her last one. And that's
Well,
really
actually, Jimmy Kimmel was trying to hold her to that. She said it was her last one, so he pulled out a contract to have her sign, indicating that this would be the last Halloween movie she would ever do.
Wow.
Or just the last Halloween movie ever.
It would be, money
If there's
talk.
money to be made, they'll make more of them.
Speaking of which, as you all know, the new Taylor Swift album comes out on Friday.
It's time to go.
And what's her movie or TV show?
Huh?
What movie or TV show is he got right now?
Find out.
Actually, she's in Amsterdam, isn't she?
Oh.
There's supposed to be some chaotic surprise at 3 a.m. Friday morning.
The best story. First off,
Good
two
music,
things.
you have to hype it this hard.
I think she's looking to break the record of for opening weekend. So I think that's why all the hype and all the different specialty versions to get fans to buy multiple copies. Because a lot of the fans online are like, they're buying 5 or 6 copies of the album because she wants to have the biggest.
she's basically
And by lots of the
screwing
fans, she means you.
Yeah, pretty much. Whatever.
So Tiffany, my TV girlfriend, has a new song out.
Is that out?
I don't know. I saw a video for it.
After meeting Dan, she brought out a song called "I Wish I Was Alone Now."
No, ironically, she was here in Seattle and she wrote a song called "I Love the Rain."
Ah.
Or "I Love Elaine." I'm not sure what it was. It's her favorite Seinfeld character.
Head on over to tiffanytunes.com and check out
tiffanytunes.com.
Would I make that up? Why would I make that up?
That's her website.
I like the rain. And there you go. And it's got a lyric video.
Yeah.
And look, there's all the tour dates.
And then if it was the King's Speech soundtrack, it could be "I Like the Rain," R-E-G-E-I-G.
Oh,
no, but it would be "I like the rain."
Ouch. That wasn't very PC.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Well, that's like the porno, the animals on a farm that are the porno animals. Brown chicken, brown cow.
Wow.
Hey, any response is a response.
It's Dan's new all dad jokes stand-up act.
Response. Yes, but you pump your nickel.
So I have another funny story to tell you since you talked about I don't know, whatever you just said a second ago, but
brown chickens and brown cows.
Yeah, that along that same kind of line. I got picked. Well, I had a prostitute try to get in my car a couple weeks ago.
Oh my!
At work, I was staking out to kind of spy on a supervisor because they've been acting stupid. And so I was playing
stakeout.
I was doing a stakeout, and so I'm across the street from our office, waiting for that person to get into the vehicle so I could go follow them and see where they're going. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden this lady comes up, and I use lady term loosely. She comes up and she tries to open up my passenger side door. Now I'm in Texas. Now let me tell you about Texas. If you try to open up a door,
People carry.
yes, we do. And so, but I didn't pull it out. I just had it sitting there, close.
Wait, you're talking about a gun, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So anyway,
Sorry.
she tries to open up my door, and I'm like, no, like I got my own thing going here, leave it alone. And so she gets mad at me, and she like kind of tries to yank the door open again. Well, I had seen her coming initially, so I locked it because I knew where I was. And so she tries like 2 or 3 times to get into my car.
Whoa.
And so
I shot her
moved.
face off.
Well, had she gotten in, I probably would have had to go further, but fortunately I didn't. And so she walks away and she's kind of like looking at me. And so I figure, well, I'm just going to drive around the building and maybe she'll kind of go in a different direction. So I go to drive around the building and I get to the other side and there's a guy in a pickup truck. And so I figured out it's a stakeout. Like I think she's a cop at this point. So I come back around and I'm like, but I stayed a little further back and a little further over, and she comes looking at me and she comes at me again like she's going to get in the car. I'm like, how many times do I have to tell you no? So anyway, I ended up, my supervisor that I was following comes out, and so I take off and I go follow them. But I had a prostitute kind of try to pick me up the other day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Either that or you're the worst Uber driver ever.
Well, there is that too.
Maybe I should have taken that pink mustache off the front of my car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank God Lyft doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, that used to be so ugly.
So
that's crazy.
Welcome to Texas.
I am looking forward this week. The new season of Documentary Now finally comes out, which has been much delayed, which is one of my favorite shows. If you like documentaries, it's a great show.
I have to watch that.
Very funny. Seth Meyers, John Mulaney, Fred Armisen. Yeah.
I also have to get caught up with She-Hulk, Quantum Leap,
episode of that,
La Brea. I got a lot to watch. My mom's telling me I got to watch it was The Good Wife, but then it's like the show that came on after The Good Wife.
Yeah.
The Good Life?
No.
Is it called The Good Life?
No. It was
what was the show after The Good?
It was Christine Baranski, but I can't remember the name of the show.
Mom, are you still watching?
Oh, The Good Fight.
The Good Fight. That's it. Yep.
The Good Fight. Yep, there she is. Good Fight. Thank you. That's on my list
Not
too.
be confused with Good Times. There's no Jimmy Walker in this.
It is Dynamite.
It is Dynamite, yeah.
Jimmy JJ Kid Dynamite Walker. Yeah, I think part of the problem with SNL is Megan Thee Stallion can't act to save her life.
It's Megan Thee Stallion.
But it depends who pronounced it.
Well,
Some of
it's
them
spelled
pronounced it-
Thee though.
Yeah, I know, but some of them, she herself just pronounces it Megan Thee Stallion.
I know.
I think she just does it quickly.
Yeah.
And if Weird Al Yankovic did a joke about it, it'd be Megan the Scallion because it's food related. Nothing.
That is food.
Scallion isn't
Trust
scallion
me,
like
Dan,
an
it's
onion?
on. We couldn't ignore that.
Yeah. All right. It looks like I've got two microphones because there's one in the old picture from my house over there, and then I have the real one
green
here.
screen is so good; it's hard to tell. It's hard to remember that that's not actually what's behind it.
Yeah, because I mean, if I want to do like a magic trick, I can just be like, "Oh, look,
Well,
how'd you do that?
Still,
You gotta tell me how you did that."
Oh, that starts fights right there.
Wow.
I think I still have that card in my drawer.
Oh no.
Maybe not.
Well, the funny thing is, too, after that whole rile, if you watch closely, you can see how it was done.
Even if you don't watch closely.
Well, you can guess how it's done, but if you watch closely, you know how it was done. But anyway, that's an old reference.
All right. Well, it sounds like
Miscongeniality.
Miscongeniality.
Next Monday, I assume.
Who else is in that movie with her? Who else?
I know John DeResta, the comedian who I worked with years ago, is in Miscongeniality too.
Oh, Michael Caine is in it.
Benjamin Bratt is in it.
Michael Caine.
I thought I was trying to remember who the lead was.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine, yes.
Michael Caine.
Candice Bergen.
Ernie
Candy.
Hudson.
Wait, we've got Candy and Sandy?
That's Dandy.
And Regis.
Regis?
Oh, Regis.
Oh, no, Regis is in the second one. Sorry.
Oh,
He's out of
you
control.
got my hopes up for Regis.
I know. I love
No,
Regis.
it's Regeless.
I know.
Okay, my other question is why does Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel why do they both have beards now?
Midlife crisis.
Yeah.
So, has a decision been made about Halloween?
Oh.
Are we wearing costumes?
No, whether we're probably not we're not actually going to do a show on the 31st.
Oh, is that on a Monday this year?
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
And there is trick or treat on a Monday.
Yeah, so we will probably be pushing that to Tuesday night,
which means it'll be next month.
Actually, be November 1st. Which
So if it's not,
whether that means that's the double feature.
Oh, if that's a double feature or not, since it's postponed from the 31st, though. That's
Oh, I don't know, but it's
You
November
guys make
1st, and it
the
is a Tuesday, so we have two for Tuesday.
EriDan makes the rules.
Yeah, we'll have to convene. We will convene and come down with a ruling for next week.
Yeah,
Wait for the smoke.
Once the council meets.
Yeah, look for the smoke to be coming out of the chapel.
I think that's good. But we appreciate you bringing that to our attention so that we can address that in a timely manner.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, folks.
All right. Yes, thank you for joining us. We will be back here on next Monday night, though, for a Miscongeniality.
Yes.
See you
Rhonda,
then.
good to have you back. Hopefully you can join us again.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.